Hi boys and girls, today for Skills Unit 6 we are jumping into Lesson 8 and we will be reading a chapter in this lesson and looking at some spelling alternatives. Let's go ahead and go on to our primary focus slide. We are going to be reading the chapter called The War Hawks with Purpose and Understanding. You will utilize text features such as the glossary to clarify any meanings of words that you're confused about, and you will answer questions about key details in the text. You will also be reading words with that sound, spelled A-R and O-R. You will also recognize and distinguish between words that use A-R, O-R, or E-R to represent the sound. You will also be identifying verbs and adverbs in sentences. Let's go ahead and get started. So our first slide brings us to identifying the verbs and adverbs. Verb is an action word. Adverb is a word that describes the verb. Okay? Let's look at number 1. They sang cheerfully. The verb in that sentence is sang. Now the word describing it, our adverb, is cheerfully. Okay, let's look at number 2. He snored loudly. What is the verb in that sentence? If you said snored, you are correct. What is the adverb in that sentence? Okay, if you said loudly, you are correct. That is the word that's describing snored loudly. All right, number 3. The garbage truck rumbled slowly down the road. What is the verb in that sentence? If you said rumbled, you're correct. What is the adverb? What is the word that is describing rumbled? Slowly, right? Slowly is our adverb. Okay, how about number 4? I waited patiently in line. What is our verb in that sentence? What's the action word? If you said waited, you are correct. That is your action word. What is the adverb? What word is describing waited? If you said patiently, you are correct. All right, let's go on to number 5. The tiny kitten purred softly. What is the verb in that sentence? If you said purred, you are correct. How about the adverb? What is the adverb in that sentence? Okay, if you said softly, you are correct. Softly is describing purred. Okay, if you got all 5 of those right, give yourself a pat on the back. If you just got 1 right, give yourself a pat on the back. Let's go on to our next slide. This brings us to reading our chapter called The War Hawks. Let's look at some of our vocabulary words that we're going to come across. We have merchant. That is a person who sells things. Okay, then we have oppose. That is to be against something. So maybe you are opposed to having homework. That means you're against having homework. All right, let's go on to our next slide. This is a preview of our spellings. Now I want you to take a look at this O card. This O can make the sound. For example, the word sun. We hear that O making the sound. Okay, and I have an example here, compose. That first O makes the sound. Okay, so keep that in mind. O can make the sound. Let's go on to our next slide. These are some questions I want you to think about while you're reading your chapter. If we were in class, I would ask you these questions at the end, like as a discussion. So you don't have to write these down. You could talk about them to somebody in your house, or you could just think to yourself. Okay, let's go through them. Number 1, what group of people were not opposed to war and why? Number 2, how did war hawks tell Congress they should go to war? And number 3, do you think it would be a good idea for the United States to declare war or not? Use evidence from the text to support your answer. Okay, like I said, you don't have to write the answers down. Just discuss with a family member or just have it in your head. Think in your head. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. You can stop the video now and read that chapter before this worksheet, or you can do everything at the end. This brings us to AR and OR. Okay, let's take a look at our vowel code flip book. Right here we have AR making the sound, for example, in the word dollar, dollar. Okay, and then we have OR making the sound like in the word work. Okay, I included numbers 1 through 7 down here because those are some sounds that you're used to. Okay, AR normally makes that R sound, or OR normally makes that OR sound, or ER normally makes right? Okay, let's look at number 1. We have charm. 2, we have carpet. 3, barber. 4, alarm. 5, short. 6, forest. And 7, corner. Okay, let's take a look at what we're going to do on activity page 8.1. You're going to bubble in the sound that you hear. Okay, that's why I went through numbers 1 through 7 and went through our code flip book. You're going to read each word and then fill in the bubble for the sound that is underlined. Okay? Hint, follow your ear, not your eye. Okay, let's look at number 1. We have farmer. Farmer. What sound, it looks like AR is underlined. What sound is that AR making in farmer? Is it making R as in car, or as in for, or as in her? Farmer. If you said R, you are correct. R like a pirate, right? So you're going to bubble in that first bubble. R as in car. Okay, the AR in farmer is making the same sound AR is in car. Okay, you are going to complete 8.1, and once you're finished reading through the chapter, doing your discussion questions, and doing 8.1, you are all set. That's it for skills today. You do have to study spelling, but that is it, boys and girls. I hope you all have a great day.